Cutting straight lines shouldn't feel like a struggle, and with the right track saw, it never has to be. Whether you're working on cabinets, flooring, or plywood sheets, a good track saw gives you clean, accurate cuts without the bulk of a table saw. In this guide, we'll help you find the best track saws that offer power, precision, and portability. We've tested and compared the top picks so you can choose the right one for your project, skill level, and budget. Let's break it all down and make your next cut smoother, faster, and easier. If you want to check the prices of each of the products, check out the links in the description, as I have linked to each of the products mentioned. Like this video and don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's jump into the video. Wen CT1065 Circular Track Saw. 5th position on our list. Budget-friendly and packed with power, this Wen saw slices like a pro without burning through your wallet. I'll be honest, I didn't expect much at this price point, but the Wen pleasantly surprised me. It's got a strong 10-amp motor that spins the 6:1 by 2-inch blade up to 5,500 RPM, and that speed translates to seriously clean cuts. I ripped through 3 by 4-inch birch ply and pine boards like nothing. The plunge mechanism is smooth, the base is stable, and the depth gauge lets you dial in to 2:1 by 3 inches max. It does bevel cuts too, up to 45 degrees, and I used it for angled trim cuts that came out sharp and accurate. Switching between scoring and full plunge modes is quick and intuitive, and the blade swap process is straightforward, with the safety locks making it hassle-free. One thing I like is the flexibility. It works beautifully on the Wen 100-inch track, but the flat base means you can use it freehand too. Just set the cams to reduce kickback and it stays steady. Dust collection is decent for a mid-range tool. I hooked it up to a small shop vac and it handled light to medium cleanup well. It's not built like a DeWalt or Makita, and the included blade could be sharper, but for furniture builds, plywood cuts, or trimming doors, it gets the job done. Plus, you're backed by Wen's 2-year warranty and great customer support. For underdog performance with big league results, this one deserves a spot in your workshop. Number 4. Evolution Power Tools. Cutting wood, plastic, and even metal, all with one blade. This saw doesn't just talk the talk, it walks the cut. Right out of the box, the R185CSX from Evolution impressed me. You're getting a 7:1 by 4-inch saw that comes bundled with a 40-inch track and everything you need to get rolling, including a quality TCT blade. I was skeptical about its multi-material claims, so I ran it through hardwood, PVC, and even thin aluminum trim. It powered through all 3 without blade changes, and that alone makes it a time saver. Its 15-amp high-torque motor is the real hero here. It stays cool even during prolonged cuts and maintains speed without bogging down. I especially like the adjustable depth. Cutting up to 2:1 by 2 inches deep lets you handle thick materials easily. Plunge cuts are straightforward and precise. The bevel adjustment, 0 to 45 degrees, works smoothly with clear detunts, and the track keeps things locked down with no slippage. The ergonomic soft grip makes a difference if you're doing multiple cuts in a session, and the dust extraction port works surprisingly well. Hook it to a shop vac and it keeps your line of sight clean. The channeled airflow also helps push debris aside while cutting, which is a subtle but effective touch. It's not as refined as a Festool or Makita, but for the price, this thing delivers real value. It's the perfect upgrade for DIYers stepping into serious work or pros looking for a reliable backup saw. DeWalt 60V Max Track Saw. You can feel the power in your hands. This DeWalt cordless track saw slices through hardwood like it's cutting butter. After weeks of heavy shop use, this saw became my go-to for clean, precise cuts without the hassle of cords. The DeWalt DCS520B doesn't just impress, it dominates. Its zero-clearance cutting system, paired with the dual-edge track, gives me splinter-free, glass-smooth edges every time. Whether I'm trimming plywood or doing plunge cuts in oak, this thing eats through it with ease. What really elevates the experience is the anti-kickback mechanism and the riveting knife. It locks in with confidence, especially during deeper cuts, and keeps your hands safe without any drama. The plunge mechanism feels ergonomic and deliberate, no wobble or resistance. The build is solid and the brushless motor is impressive. Strong and quiet, even at max speed. The depth of cut is 2 1/8 inches at 90 degrees, which has handled everything I've thrown at it so far. Add to that a bevel range of up to 47 degrees, and you're working with serious flexibility. The 90% dust extraction feature is also no joke. I paired it with my shop vac and barely needed cleanup after. Downsides? It's a bare tool, so you'll need to bring your 60-volt battery. But if you're already in DeWalt's FlexVolt ecosystem, this saw fits right in. In my book, this track saw doesn't just replace the table saw, it outperforms it for most tasks. Number 2. Makita SP6000J1. This saw turns job site chaos into clean, controlled perfection. Fast, splinter-free cuts without dragging your table saw across the garage or workshop. After weeks of putting the Makita Plunge-Cut circular saw to work, I'm seriously impressed. This thing is smooth, powerful, and surprisingly precise. The 12-amp motor doesn't flinch even when ripping hardwood. I used it on cabinet panels, stair treads, and trim boards. Every cut came out clean with zero tear out. The included 55-inch guide rail is a game changer. It locks the saw in place, giving you buttery straight cuts that feel more like a panel saw than a handheld tool. Pair that with the variable speed control, 2,000 to 5,200 RPM, and you can match the power to the material. I had no trouble moving from MDF to plywood to solid oak without slowing down. Makita nailed the bevel range too, with settings from 1 degree to 48 degrees and solid stops at 22.5 degrees and 45 degrees. I didn't have to second-guess my angles. And it cuts close to the wall, a big bonus when you're working tight. The plunge release and depth controls are easy to use, and the soft start keeps it from jumping out of your hands. It's lighter than you'd expect, yet stable on the track. Whether you're in the shop or on site, this saw brings serious table saw precision in a portable package. For remodelers, woodworkers, or trim pros, this tool seriously earns its keep. Now, introducing our number 1, Festool Plunge-Cut Track Saw. This saw doesn't just cut, it glides like a scalpel through hardwood, plywood, and MDF, delivering pro-level precision without the pro-level frustration or setup hassle. I've used the Festool 577014 Plunge-Cut Track Saw for everything from cabinet installs to finish trim, and it's easily one of the best tools I've ever owned. What stands out right away is how fast and clean it cuts. Festool claims it's twice as fast as earlier models, and I believe it. The motor powers through dense material without hesitation, and the new blades stay sharp even after heavy use. What really impressed me is the splinter-free finish on both sides of the cut, a game changer when working with expensive plywood. The attachable splinter guard works flawlessly, even on bevels up to 47 degrees. And speaking of bevels, the cut line stays perfectly aligned whether you're cutting straight at 90 degrees or tilted for that perfect undercut. The 55-inch guide rail is dead accurate, and the riving knife makes plunge cuts safer and smoother. I also appreciated the dust extraction system. It pulls out most of the dust, keeping my work area clean and my lungs happier. Yes, it's heavier than most at just under 23 pounds, but that weight adds stability and helps keep cuts steady. This isn't a budget tool. It's built for serious work. If you care about precision, durability, and saving time on the job, this saw is absolutely worth it.